it's Sunday, November 21st, and we're continuing our theme this month called Full of Greatness. What we've done is we've given ourselves permission to redefine grateful as full of greatness. And this morning we're talking about the greatness of being selective. What does that mean? Well, guess what? I made it up, and I'm going to tell you what I think it means. It's inspired by the first day of Advent in the Orthodox Christian tradition, which includes fasting right now, and Thanksgiving, which of course does not include fasting. It includes feasting. And finally, a continuation of this theme of celebrating the greatness in every one of us. So we'll zero right in on fasting and feasting from a spiritual perspective and see how that can support us in experiencing more of that greatness which is both within us and all around us. Fasting, of course, is a very, very familiar concept. Some of us know it as not eating X number of hours before our lab work, right? Not eating before the blood test. Some of us have practiced fasting as a religious practice. Some of us practice intermittent fasting as a health practice. And some of us simply do our best not to eat between dinner and breakfast, and we consider that a major victory. In all cases, fasting in this sense with which we are familiar is that we don't eat and we don't drink anything but water, and something happens. What it does is it clears and resets the inner workings of our bodies, and it has a restorative effect on our health and well-being, and it renews many of our capacities to experience life fully. Now, we don't do that sort of thing where we get into the biological reasons why, but we do know this much, and we go to specialists who can help us with that. What we do here, though, is we fast from thinking and feeling and from ideas which don't support us. So fasting and abstinence from a spiritual perspective would be to fast from toxic, impure thoughts and feelings. It's also a clearing and a resetting of our inner self, and it also produces restorative effects that allow and support our ability to experience life fully. We fast from ideas of separation from the infinite, of duality, good and evil. We fast from ideas of fear, which trip us up. These things that we fast from clear and reset our inner workings and are reflected in our outside lives. Now, feasting has its place too. When we feast, and we're going back to the land of the familiar, right? On foods and water made of elements of life itself, the fertile soil, the sunshine, the clean air, and the pure water that's contained in those foods that we eat. They too restore us within. They too renew us and support our ability to experience life fully. We know that. So feasting spiritually is very similar. Feasting spiritually is to feast upon these thoughts such as the allness of God, the allness of good, oneness and unity, goodness being all around us, love. Those produce a restorative effect within us. Those support us and renew us in being able to step into life and experience it more fully. Of course they do. Because each one of these directs the law. It directs every part of our beingness. It magnetizes circumstances to us. It does stuff. So, we get to choose whether it's food or drink or thoughts or feelings or other things. We get to choose what we let in and what we keep away. And how do we do that? Well, I'm here to tell you that we have something built into our very nature that knows exactly how to do that. It's called selectivity. I bet you know this. Every cell in nature has what's called a selectively permeable membrane around it. And what it does is this membrane knows what to let in, what to keep out, and what to let go of when it's complete. And that is something that supports every cell in nature in growing, in dividing, in realizing its potential in life. Now, you know me, I love metaphors. I love what nature has to teach us about ourselves, because we are part of nature. We are made of the same intelligence and the same stuff. So think about this. There is that within you that emanates and creates a selectively permeable membrane around you. It is sort of a border of your identity and spirit, your perfect self. And what it does is it too recognizes what to let in, what it requires, what to keep out. It doesn't require that to be what it is, and what to release when it is no longer needed. Now, this is a real simplification of an extraordinary set of processes always going on, but think about it. There is that within you and me which knows exactly what is for us and what is not for us and what to do with it. Just like the reading from Ernest Holmes that Rick read. There is that within you and me that creates a selectively permeable membrane around us which knows, that is for me and who I have come here to be, and that is for someone else and who they've come to be, and I think I'm done with this, so I'll let this go. And all of this is part of the automatic, ongoing perfection of being that we are and that we can experience. So again, still we may ask, well, how will I know what that is? How do I recognize those signals? How do I know when life is telling me that, or my little filter system is telling me that? There are lots of ways that we know, and the one that I want to share about today is intuition. It's again part of what Rick read from the Science of Mind textbook. Ernest Holmes says that intuition is instinct plus self-awareness and choice. Instinct plus self-awareness and choice. So what does that mean? That means trust your gut. When some little voice in you says, how will I know, what to choose, what to let in, what to keep away from, what to let go of? Trust your gut. That is your instinct. That is your intuition. That is your inner tutor. And your inner tutor begins with an instant knowingness that is a direct connection to the intelligence of God, of the infinite intelligence. And it also continues with this capacity that we are born with as humans of self-recognition, of self-reflection, of self-awareness. So you simply have a sense, pay attention to it, trust it, and make a choice. That's really how simple it is. All of these choices make the difference. All of these choices determine the quality. All of these choices determine how much of the greatness within and all around us we will fulfill and experience. That's the point. And making these choices determines how much we actually live. So we can count on this power within us of selectivity and this guidance to show us the way. We didn't used to know this about ourselves, that we had built-in selectivity that would already have the capacity to recognize what to let in, what to keep out, and what to be complete with. We didn't know that about ourselves. We also didn't know about ourselves that we had this intuitive, built-in connection with the infinite intelligence that instantly knows and can always be trusted and counted on, that we could be aware of and act on with confidence. We didn't know that. We didn't used to know that we were made in the image and likeness of that very thing which made and makes all out of the same stuff, and that we had any of the capacities that come with that package. But we know now. So my question is this: how is it possible that we would live in any other way? How is it possible that we would accept a life of not knowing what to do? How is it possible that we would accept a life of not knowing that we had a capacity? How is it that we would live a life, or try to live a life, where we had no choice? That's not freedom. Freedom is the very basis of all life. It is the very basis of what we teach here. It is the very basis, the key to what is available to all of us. It's no way to live not knowing what is ours or not ours. It's no way to live to take in things that are not part of who we are. It's no way to live to hold on to things that do not support us living fully. It is the way to live, to trust that there is that within us that knows exactly what to let in, what to keep away, what to release. There is that within us which knows exactly what to do in every moment. Every moment. I promise you that. And the only time that it doesn't come through for us is when we don't sit with it. How do I know? I practice all the time, remembering and forgetting. And then I compare my two experiences and I say, I didn't acknowledge. I didn't exercise self-awareness and choice when I had that funny feeling. Next time I think, I will pay attention and I will trust that thing and I will choose accordingly. So the greatness of selectivity is within, or shall I say, being selective. I was trying to be more clear about that. The greatness of being selective is within you, it's within me. And what that does is it guarantees that we always know what we need to know in every moment, and what to do with what is in front of us, and how it relates to who we are. How it relates to who we are. We can trust that. So as we come to know that better, as we come to practice working with it, we'll find that we can trust it more, until we rely 100% on this inner guidance system and this filter that supports us in living the best life that is possible for us. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I invite you to consider the possibility of starting that today. I invite you to consider that now that you do know, you too can recognize, embrace, and enjoy the best life ever. It's there for you, and you know what to do with it. So start living that life today.